Our boy opens his eyes in the middle of a city, feeling confused as he cannot remember who he is or where he is. He looks around, attempting to piece together his identity, and realizes he does not recognize his own face, which he glimpses in the window of a passing bus. As he inspects his uniform, which bears the words Earth Union, he notices it resembles a military uniform. This discovery piques his curiosity about whether he is somehow connected to the military. However, despite examining his uniform closely, he cannot recall anything about his identity. While he struggles to remember, he suddenly hears a whining noise and instinctively punches a nearby tree with great force, causing it to fall onto the sidewalk. He finds it strange that he reacted so instinctively to the sound, but he cannot comprehend the source of the monstrous strength he possesses. Just as he grapples with the overwhelming flood of questions, he hears a voice in his head greeting him as an agent. Our boy begins to look around, wondering if the source of the sound is nearby. However, he hears the same sound in his head again, which informs him that it originates from an AI combat support system implanted in his body. Surprised by this revelation, he asks the AI about the location and year. The AI analyzes the banner in his field of vision and concludes that he is in Seoul in the year 2024. It then informs him that he is a military AI model from the year 2082, which astonishes him. He wonders how an AI model can be from 2082 while it is still 2024 and asks the AI if he has time-traveled from the future to the past. The AI responds that it cannot retrieve any activity information since its memory has been reset, leading our boy to realize that the AI has lost its memory, just like him. As he contemplates his identity and the bizarre information he has just received from the AI, he receives a warning that the AI has detected a traffic accident. The AI urges him to dodge the incoming vehicle. However, while he is receiving the accident warning, the AI alerts him to a dangerous object approaching. Our boy quickly dodges the incoming metal rod, but it pierces the man behind him and becomes lodged in the man's stomach. Bystanders quickly call 911 and gather around the individual to ensure he remains conscious. Our boy notices some red and blue colors and asks the AI about them. The AI explains that they are projections from the visual assist device, an AR lens feature that enabled him to dodge the metal rod easily. However, he is troubled by the thought that an innocent civilian could die in 5 minutes. Realizing it would be impossible to get the injured civilian to the emergency room in that time, he asks the AI if there is any way to save him. The AI responds that they should perform emergency field surgery, but our boy feels he is not capable of such a procedure. The AI reassures him that it can perform the surgery and instructs our boy to first assess the patient's condition. Despite having many questions, our boy decides to trust the AI and proceeds to assess the condition of the injured civilian. He informs the AI that the wound is deep and will require major surgery, worried about whether the AI can truly perform it. The AI assures him that it has identified the necessary tools and that the surgery can proceed if our boy can acquire a needle, thread, a small knife, and disinfectant. This surprises our boy, making him question whether he can really trust the AI. A boy sitting beside him asks if he is capable of performing emergency first aid, to which our boy replies that he needs some materials to administer first aid. They then ask the crowd if anyone has the necessary supplies. After gathering the materials from the crowd, who are questioning our boy's identity and whether he is even a doctor, he asks the AI what they should do next, sensing the suspicious gazes of those who doubt his credibility. The AI responds that it will be able to perform the surgery with these materials if our boy grants it temporary control. This revelation raises further questions in our boy's mind. However, he prioritizes saving the injured civilian and grants the AI temporary control without hesitation. Once he does, his hands begin to move on their own, and his fingers operate with incredible speed and precision, giving him hope that, at this rate, the surgery will be successful. Suddenly, the AI warns him that the expected blood loss has exceeded the limit, and the patient's survival rate is decreasing. This shocks our boy, as he had believed the AI would be able to save him. He asks the AI if it can still save the man, but the AI does not respond, and soon after, his hands cease to function as before. This situation becomes even more concerning when our boy realizes that the patient's condition has worsened drastically, leaving him deeply worried. The patient was then transported to the hospital on an emergency basis, and an operating room was prepared immediately due to his significant blood loss. The surgery was successful, as the surgeon informs the other doctor that the patient was able to survive. The doctor asks the surgeon whether the operation went smoothly, to which the surgeon replies that it was quite severe. He explains that he was shocked when he saw the patient. Had they not stopped the bleeding, the patient would have died before even exiting the ambulance, and most of the bleeding had already been addressed. The doctor is perplexed by how this was possible, prompting the surgeon to reveal that both the insides and outsides of the patient had been stitched with regular thread used for sewing clothes. This revelation shocks the doctor. However, the surgeon adds that the more astonishing aspect is that the stitching was so uniform it appeared to have been done by a sewing machine. Both the doctor and the surgeon find this absurd, and as they continue discussing the strange aspects of the surgery, a detective enters. Park Ki-young walks in, asking about the patient. The surgeon responds that he arrived just in time, as the surgery was successful and the patient's condition is now stable. However, the surgeon asks the detective if it is true that the initial surgery on the patient was performed on the street. The detective confirms this, stating that, surprisingly, a box cutter was used instead of a scalpel to access the patient's insides. This revelation shocks both the surgeon and the doctor, as such surgery cannot be performed cleanly with a box cutter unless executed by someone with extraordinary skill, akin to a sword master. Ki-young then tells the doctor that all the witnesses testified to the same account. The doctor then inquires about the type of needle used during the surgery, to which the detective replies that an individual bent a needle from a sewing kit and used it to perform the procedure, an assertion that both the doctor and the surgeon find utterly insane. They then inquire about the person who performed the surgery, to which Ki-young responds that he quietly left after finishing the procedure, before the ambulance arrived, rendering everyone silent. The scene then shifts to our boy, who is washing his hands in a public bathroom, complaining to the AI model about stopping midway, as he thought it had given up. The AI responds that it was merely calculating the surgical route. Our boy then asks the AI why it has lost its memory, to which the AI explains that its memory appears to have been reset. He further inquires if it remembers its name, and the AI replies that it has not been assigned a name yet. Deciding to give the AI a name, our boy chooses to shorten it to John G, which means combat AI. He concludes that, from now on, the AI model will be known as John G. After hearing its name, the AI goes silent for a moment, prompting our boy to wonder why it is not responding again. But the AI model. After a short while, the AI informs our boy that its name has been set to John G and that it can be reset later. Our boy asks if he should change it to Black Fire Dragon, but the AI replies instantly that John G is a good name. He then exits the public bathroom and inquires about the patch on his arm, which reads Earth Union. The AI explains that it is a special operations military uniform for the Earth Union. Curious, our boy asks why they are in 2024 despite being a special forces agent who has lost his memory. John responds that it does not have enough information to determine that. Our boy suggests gathering information using the internet, to which John replies that this is impossible because data input and output are restricted to avoid the risk of hacking. This makes our boy curious about the method John uses to input data. John explains that it gathers information solely through our boy's 5 senses, with all kinds of visual, auditory, olfactory, and immediate sensory inputs shared with it. This data is then analyzed and stored, converting it into information in the information analysis storage. This means that if our boy eats something delicious, John will experience the same sensation. John explains that the output of information is conveyed through the body and voice. However, to do this, John needs permission for temporary control and can only assist when it is deemed necessary for combat. John also mentions limitations, one of which is that it cannot directly attack someone, as it is restricted to assisting with aiming. After hearing this, our boy realizes that it is literally a combat AI, as the name suggests. To gather information about why they are here, our boy needs to experience everything through his body so the AI can process it. He decides to visit a PC cafe to gather information, which makes John curious about whether our boy has recovered his memory. However, our boy tells John that he believes they can collect a lot of information from this place, although they need to enter first, a step he is currently unable to take due to his memory. Thus, he resolves to earn his first 10,000 won. Our boy considers earning money through singing and asks John if it can use his vocal cords to sing. John responds that it can, as this capability may be required in the field. Not fully understanding what John means by the field, our boy decides to grant temporary control and stands in the middle of a space where other singers are already performing. He is amazed to learn that singing is considered quite necessary on the battlefield, as John has everything prepared, even down to the spoon. John explains that this feature was introduced to boost morale among soldiers. However, our boy does not understand why they are singing among other performers, as he cannot expect to outshine their remarkable talent. John tells him that if they can showcase a higher level of skill than the singers in front of them, they will attract the crowd's attention. Nevertheless, our boy thinks that the crowd's attention would likely come in the form of booing or ridicule. Worried about being made fun of, our boy instructs John not to overdo it, despite recognizing that John is a highly capable AI. He fears that John might end up making fun of him, but John acts as if it hasn't heard his concerns and starts the show. After granting John temporary control over his vocal cords, our boy begins to sing, astonishing the audience present. Following John's instructions, he also poses, as engaging the audience is essential. The crowd finds our boy's tone incredible. However, they cannot understand why he keeps singing from the middle of the song. John explains that the songs were collected from the street, so they do not have access to either the beginning or the end. Our boy successfully acquires the minimal funds he desired and decides to leave. However, his audience is now saddened because they want him to sing more. Then, we see a yellow-haired girl from the next building listening to our boy sing, and she is impressed. She thinks to herself that she wants to hear the song a little longer. After earning money through singing, our boy starts walking toward the PC cafe to gather information about the Earth Federation, their purpose, and many other matters. He asks John what they should do if they are unable to find anything. John responds that their priority is to infiltrate the local environment discreetly and blend in naturally, then find a way to contact the command center. Our boy appreciates the idea of discreet infiltration and considers that the PC cafe is hiring employees, which John agrees is optimal, as it would allow them to gather information without worrying about food supply issues. He instructs John to apply immediately. Our boy wants to stay at the cafe temporarily in case they get the job, as they will need a place to sleep at night. John informs our boy that if they can secure lodging, along with food, clothing, and shelter, they will be able to take care of everything necessary. Our boy reminds John that they have not yet sorted out the clothing situation, to which John responds that there is a solution. The military uniform our boy is wearing has a disguise feature. By using chameleonic shape memory special fiber, the outfit can change into various forms. Additionally, the outfit can be disassembled into multiple pieces of cloth, making it easier to reassemble into different styles. Our boy experiments with this feature and creates a strange costume resembling the singers they saw earlier. However, John remains silent, which our boy finds odd. As he wonders about the costume, he notices two people climbing the stairs, mocking the clothing of another individual they encounter. However, when their eyes fall on our boy's costume, they are shocked and quickly move past him without saying a word. This reaction makes our boy realize that they were taken aback by his outfit, to which John responds, equally astonished that such a reaction is possible. Recognizing that the costume is so bizarre it even unsettles an AI, our boy decides to reassemble it into casual clothes and adds a cap, which John believes is an excellent choice for a special agent. Our boy then enters the room and scans the entire area, noting that 96% of the users are currently playing games. John also ensures to check the convenience facilities, verify the payment methods, and review the status of the food. After that, John identifies a suitable place for temporary residence and informs our boy that this location is optimal for his current situation. Our boy then meets the owner of the PC cafe and informs him that he is applying for a job. However, the owner finds it presumptuous that our boy does not have an identity card and is unable to proceed with the application since he is filling in for a missing employee. The owner asks our boy to bring the ID tomorrow and to write the resume immediately. He suspects our boy to be the type who comes to the cafe merely to sit around and slack off, assuming he is someone who can only cook instant ramen, despite having a nice face. Consequently, The owner asks if our boy is capable of handling a frying pan, emphasizing that he needs to know how to use one since they sell food here. John informs our boy that it has field tactical cooking skills designed for soldier condition management. Our boy informs the owner that he can handle cooking, to which the owner responds by asking him to make some fried rice. John highlights the necessary ingredients, and our boy grants temporary control of his hands to John, instructing him to prepare delicious fried rice. John initiates field tactical cooking and begins to cook swiftly, causing our boy to feel as if his body is moving lightly, almost as if he instinctively remembers how to do this. The owner of the cafe is surprised to see our boy skillfully prepare fried rice from scratch, as he initially expected him to simply stir-fry some frozen rice. What astonishes the owner even more is the speed at which our boy works, so fast that the owner can hardly see his hands. When our boy presents the finished dish to the owner expresses skepticism. He believes that while it was done quickly, that does not necessarily indicate quality, and he assumes it may not be well cooked due to the rush. The owner falls silent after taking the first bite, leaving our boy wondering if it tastes bad. After a brief pause, the owner remarks that he cannot handle this dish, as the fried rice is so delicious that it would be a crime. While the owner enjoys the tastiest fried rice he has ever eaten, his niece, Unseo, walks in, curious about his unusual behavior in the middle of the day. The owner introduces his niece to our boy, explaining that Unseo is also an employee at the cafe. However, the owner does not need to introduce our boy to her, as Unseo already knows him from his performance outside a few hours earlier. She asks our boy why he is working at a PC cafe despite having such a mesmerizing voice, to which he responds that he is good at singing and can pretty much do anything else. John reminds our boy that it is actually John who excels at everything, but our boy tells John to be quiet. Meanwhile, the owner is delighted to have a young employee who can cook, especially since Unseo struggles with even the simplest tasks, often burning or spilling instant food, which she finds quite embarrassing. The owner asks our boy if he has a preferred time for work and whether he would like lunch or dinner facilities. Our boy responds that he prefers part-time shifts, allowing him to work only at specific times. Moreover, he requests that these working hours be flexible. The owner is taken aback by such demands, but our boy continues and expresses a desire to stay in the storage room temporarily while he works, as he plans to remain there for a while. The owner inquires if he does not have a home, to which our boy replies that he is out for an extended period. While the owner finds this situation quite difficult, he realizes that our boy's skills are too valuable to overlook. The nearby PC cafe has gained popularity due to its food offerings, which makes the owner somewhat envious. Seizing this opportunity to enhance his own cafe's reputation for food, he agrees to let our boy stay in the storage room and provides free meals, along with double pay for a week, contingent upon our boy's cooking increasing sales. Surprised by the offer of double pay, our boy recognizes that he cannot let this opportunity slip away and decides to prepare a tasty dish for the two customers who have just entered, as they believe that the food served in PC rooms is subpar. Our boy prepares a plate of delicious fried rice for the customers who had previously complained about the low quality of food and asks Unseo to bring him a plate so he can serve it to them. Both the owner and Unseo are impressed by the perfect plating of the fried rice, to the point that they are tempted to try it themselves. However, the owner instructs Unseo to deliver the order to the customers. The two customers, initially skeptical of the food quality at a PC cafe, find our boy quite bold for serving fried rice. One of them decides they should simply taste it and then continue on their way. Meanwhile, Unseo brings their order, surprising both customers with the prompt delivery, as it arrived before they could even start their game. They struggle to believe that what they see is fried rice, given its unusually elegant presentation. However, Unseo, who is also drooling over the dish, assures them that it is indeed what they ordered. The customers decide to give it a try and, as they take their first bites, they are flooded with nostalgic feelings reminiscent of the times they managed to sneak a meal from their trainer after a strenuous workout. They mistake the PC cafe for a fried rice hotspot because of how delicious it is and order 2 more plates. Other customers, witnessing the praise from the initial diners, also decide to order fried rice for themselves. Unseo rushes to the counter to inform the owner that they have received 12 orders for fried rice, which shocks him. He asks our boy if he can handle such a large number of orders. Our boy whispers to John, inquiring whether it is capable of managing such a significant request. John responds that the tactical field cooking technique it employs is inherently suited for large-scale recipes. John further explains that the cooking is fundamentally delicious, as providing quality food is crucial. Soldiers would feel demoralized if they were forced to eat poor meals after risking their lives. Impressed by this skill, our boy gives control to John, instructing him to prepare a generous 15 servings. After 3 hours, the owner reviews the cafe's sales and finds them to be remarkable. This prompts our boy to ask the owner if he has secured double pay for the week, to which the owner confirms it is indeed a certainty, instructing him to maintain this level of performance. The owner decides to clean the storage room for our boy and inquires about his name, to which our boy responds that his name is Na Kangye. The owner then goes to stock up on ingredients for Kangyin, while Unseo, on the other hand, is unconscious after consuming the leftover fried rice, which he found extremely delicious. John asks Kangyin if he remembers his name, to which Kangyin replies that it just slipped his mind. Although Kangyin manages to secure a place for himself, he realizes that he needs an ID to receive payment. He asks John if it can hack into the database, to which John responds that it possesses hacking skills developed from the early 21st century to 2082. This piques Kangyin's curiosity, leading him to ask whether John can also hack a bank, as that would eliminate the need to work in the PC cafe. However, John informs Kangyin that its skills are limited to local infiltration. Kangyin then inquires if John can forge an ID, to which John confidently replies that it can easily do so and requests temporary control of Kangyin's hands, which Kangyin grants without hesitation. John easily hacks into the Korean government administrative database and begins searching for individuals with similar information to Kangyin. However, John detects an unknown issue, which surprises Kangyin, as John informs him that information for Na Kangyin is already registered in the database. John then attempts to match the fingerprints of both Kangyins, resulting in a 100% similarity. Kangyin cannot believe what he is seeing. He is from the 2082 Earth Federation Special Forces, and John was also created in the same year. Kangyin asks John to check if there is an Earth Federation Special Forces unit in 2024. John searches online information from the UN and major countries, but finds no record of such a unit in 2024. This prompts Kangyin to wonder whether he simultaneously exists in both 2024 and 2082. John, however, tells him that they do not have sufficient information to make a determination. Kangyin then asks John to thoroughly examine his personal information, believing there may be an important clue. Unfortunately, the only unique finding is that Kangyin is unemployed. However, as they are working, John informs Kangyin that Unseo is nearby. Kangyin immediately aborts what he was doing and turns his attention toward Unseo, who is surprised by his typing speed and asks if he is also able to develop programs. Instead of answering, Kangyin tells Unseo that it is rude to peek at the monitors of others in a PC cafe. Unseo apologizes and informs Kangyin that her uncle gave her a card for shopping with him, inviting him to join her. Kangyin feels relieved to know that Unseo did not look at the contents of the screen. The scene then shifts to the shopping mart, where Unseo and Kangyin have finished shopping for the PC cafe. Unseo is amazed to see Kangyin quickly selecting items, while Kangyin, on the other hand, is only picking the highest quality items as instructed by John. Unseo is further impressed by how easily Kangyin can lift heavy items, such as frying pans. However, Kangyin remarks that they are light. Unseo then asks Kangyin if they should do more shopping, to which he responds that he cannot since it is his boss's card. However, Unseo reassures him that it is not an issue, as her uncle is the owner of the cafe. As they continue walking, Unseo bumps into a man, causing her to stumble backward. One of the men warns her to walk carefully if she does not want to get hurt. Kangyin finds the gazes of the two men quite intimidating. John warns him that the two individuals he is observing are hostile, asking Kangyin if it should shift to combat mode, but Kangyin does not give any instructions. Meanwhile, Unseo is frightened by their intimidating looks. Tears stream down her face as she apologizes for bumping into them, promising to be extra careful in the future. One of the brothers, realizing they have unintentionally frightened a girl, reassures Eun-seo that she does not need to worry. He explains that his brother's hostile demeanor was due to being in a bad mood from losing games all day. After Eun-seo thanks them for forgiving her, the two brothers go their separate ways, while John informs Kang-in that the situation is safe since the targets are moving away. As they enter the cafe, Kang-in checks on Eun-seo to ensure she is okay, to which she replies that she was just a little startled. Upon entering the PC cafe, the owner rushes over to Eun-seo. He informs her that they have an emergency, as their internet connection has suddenly been cut off, resulting in chaos within the cafe. The owner mentions that he has called for help, but it will not arrive for another hour, leaving them to handle the situation on their own. Eun-seo expresses her concern about how they can resolve such a significant issue, while Kang-in, on the other hand, asks John if the disconnection occurred because they accessed the government database, considering the possibility that they might have been traced by a hacker. However, John believes that no one could track them using the security technology from the 2020s. Despite this, Kang-in insists that they should still investigate, to which John replies that they need to check the temporary base's server. Kang-in then inquires about the server's location, and the owner informs him that it is located at the counter, but he asks Kang-in why he is asking about it. Kang-in explains that he intends to fix the connection issue, and proceeds to walk towards the counter to identify the problem. John begins investigating the problem through the server and concludes that there are no traces of anyone actively tracking them. However, John does find evidence of a hacking attempt. Kang-in is puzzled as to why anyone would attempt to hack a PC cafe. John explains that someone may have used the cafe server for testing, noting that a personal data hacking program is installed on the computer. This program clashed with the security software, resulting in the internet outage. Kang-in instructs John to locate the hacker, prompting John to trace the hacker's signal. He identifies the hacker's location, revealing that the hacker bounced the signal through 7 servers to avoid detection. John notes that 6 of these locations point to foreign countries, while 1 is situated nearby. Kang-in realizes that the hacker must have physically come to install the program, wondering if they are the same individuals he encountered earlier. As Kang-in contemplates the identity of the culprit, a customer enters to complain about the internet outage, stating that he was disconnected right in the middle of his promotional match. However, Eun-seo informs the customer that they will be compensated and that their time will be extended for free. The customer responds that this is the least they should do, as he was about to win his promotional game. Kang-in realizes that the customers are frustrated, so he asks John if he has a solution. John suggests that Kang-in offer the customers some food, noting that the more underdeveloped the area, the more effective the food tends to be. He provides Kang-in with a list of simple battlefield snacks and requests him to select one. Kang-in chooses option number 3, to which John responds that it is an excellent choice, as it has the lowest ingredient cost. While Eun-seo continues to apologize to the customer, Kang-in prepares the snack and offers it to him, explaining that it is on the house. He also apologizes for the inconvenience caused by the PC cafe. Kang-in wears a professional smile and assures the customer that the internet will not go out again, as the servers have been successfully stabilized. The customer becomes furious, as he believes a side snack cannot compensate for his loss. However, he decides to taste it, warning Kang-in that he will not let him go if it turns out poorly. After taking the first bite of the delicious snack Kang-in made, the customer falls silent. After a moment, he regains his composure, feeling energized and optimistic about achieving silver rank that day. He is also eager to get a refill of the delicious snack he just had. Eun-seo, observing how the snack calmed the frustrated customer, wonders if Kang-in has added some magic powder to it. After taking a bite herself, she finds that it soothes her soul. Eun-seo realizes it is a spicy snack, with a hint of sweetness and sourness, which she finds quite amazing. She is curious about how Kang-in managed to create such a flavor, but Kang-in simply replies that it is nothing special. He just threw some ingredients together. He then informs Eun-seo that he is going outside to address the internet issue and asks her to distribute the snacks to the affected customers. Additionally, Kang-in mentions that he has left some snacks in the kitchen for her and her uncle to enjoy. However, this leads Eun-seo to conclude that Kang-in is the hero of modern times. The scene then shifts to the street, where Kang-in is walking toward the hacker's den, the individuals responsible for the attempted breach at their base. John instructs him that they must eliminate the enemy who initiated this attack. Our boy reminds John that this is precisely why they are tracking down the hacker and tells her to lead the way. John activates navigation mode and notes that there are no signs of nearby cameras or external guards. Furthermore, John mentions that there is no tactical detection equipment in the vicinity, which makes Kang-in realize that the hacker has made significant efforts to remain hidden. John leads Kang-in into one of the buildings, where he hears voices coming from a room. John amplifies the audio for Kang-in, filtering out noise and improving sound quality, allowing him to listen attentively to the discussion in the room. Kang-in realizes that some individuals are threatening a boy for creating something deemed useless. However, the boy insists that what he produced was a test version, assuring them that everything would proceed smoothly once he fixes the bugs. The man assures the boy that he will give him a lot of money and send him home once he completes the program. However, the boy didn't realize the nature of the job and begins to beg the man not to kill him. John informs our boy that the voice analysis suggests a civilian is being threatened, something our boy had also realized. John tells Kang-in that they should evacuate the civilian after rescuing him. Without wasting any time, Kang-in forcefully kicks the door open, surprising everyone inside the room. The boy initially thinks Kang-in is one of the attackers. The gang leader asks his subordinate if they had properly locked the door, unable to understand how an uninvited guest managed to get in. His subordinates assure him that they had tightly secured the door. To make up for the failure, one of them lunges at our boy to throw him out instantly, but ends up getting knocked out by a powerful blow to the chin, further shocking everyone in the room.